The Franciscan Sisters of Perpetual Adoration are celebrating 135 years of all-around-the-clock prayer, and their history dates all the way back to 1849. You can trace their beginnings all the way back to Barvia. Now, they moved to Jefferson, Wisconsin in 1864, and then they moved to La Crosse in 1871. Also, though, on August 1st, back in 1878, the sisters started their 24 hours of prayer. Now, accomplishing that goal was definitely not easy. It took a lot of persistence and dedication, and they have demonstrated their commitment to prayer over and over again. Well, News 19's Dave Soley shares some examples.
Inside this building, in a room called the Adoration Chapel, the Franciscan Sisters of Perpetual Adoration pray around the clock.
There are people with needs all over the world and all times of the day and night. And so the Perpetual Adoration is a way to address those needs.
That 24-hour prayer almost didn't happen. Because of their small numbers and growing responsibilities, church leaders did not want to approve that request.
Bishop Heiss, the bishop at the time, he didn't think we had enough sisters to do Perpetual Adoration. He knew that we were involved in many ministries that were very taxing, and he said that he just didn't think that we should pursue that.
But the sisters' persistence changed the bishop's mind, and they began praying around the clock August 1st, 1878. They've demonstrated that persistence throughout their history, including an event in 1923.
In 1923, we had a fire.
It spread quickly, moving toward a door leading to the Adoration Chapel.
Interesting sideline with that is, of course, the sisters were supposed to evacuate. Well, everyone did except the sisters in the Adoration Chapel.
Those sisters prayed. The firefighters fought the blaze, and the fire stopped at the chapel door.
And you can see a little bit of the chard that we left it on the door.
Sister Christensen says there's one more element to this story.
When we built the chapel, Mother Antonia put this statue of St. Michael here and said that Michael should protect us and protect the chapel, and that's where the fire stopped. So we're very pleased with Michael.
Christensen is also pleased the sisters were so persistent. Sisters you will find in the Adoration Chapel every day, around the clock.
And their history dates back to Bavaria. There we go, I'll get it right. In 1849. Now, since the sisters' numbers, though, are declining, they have accomplished their year-round prayer by the help from our community residents, and they are known as prayer partners. Now, that process started back in 1997. And the sisters and their ministry, our partners, are still celebrating, and they're also celebrating by helping local children in need. This afternoon, they delivered baked goods to the Salvation Army, the Boys and Girls Club, and the St. Clair Health Mission. Now, these treats were made specially by the sisters to show their appreciation to local organizations that are making a difference.
We just want to make sure that people in this region know that we're here for them, that we're here not only to pray for them, but also to work with them and to serve them and to be good neighbors with each other.
And celebration will continue tomorrow morning at 11. They're going to ring a bell near the chapel 135 times to mark the anniversary. Also tomorrow night, they're inviting the public to join them in an hour of prayer.
You're watching News 19 in HD with Dave Soley and Chief Meteorologist Dan Breedham. This is News 19 Live at 5.
Members of the Franciscan Sisters of Perpetual Adoration rang a bell 135 times this morning at 11 o'clock, marking 135 years of prayer around the clock. Every day the sisters pray for the world, the country, the community, and of course you. Nearly 200 people gathered to celebrate that anniversary. They say the bell is a good physical reminder of the importance of their prayer.
They said, ask and you shall receive, so that's what we do. And we get prayer requests from all over the world.
At the end of that celebration, they rang the bell one more time to mark the 136th year. Well, the sisters are probably best known for that prayer around the clock. They say that's the foundation for all of their work, but with a lot of community support, they've contributed to the La Crosse area in a number of other ways. This is what you might think about the Franciscan Sisters of Perpetual Adoration. Sisters praying in the Adoration Chapel every day around the clock. But they've contributed to the La Crosse community in other ways, affecting healthcare, education, and the arts.
We've been blessed so that we can serve others.
Georgia Christensen says one way the sisters demonstrated that service to others was their work to establish St. Francis Hospital in 1883.
Shortly after we arrived, the city fathers came and asked if we would build a hospital. Well, we didn't have the means, we didn't have the training, but we knew that if we were asked to do something and followed God's will, that we'd get the help and support.
7 years later, they established the St. Rose Normal School to train teachers. That school became Viterbo University.
We were just serving sisters at the time. We opened up to lay women, then in 100 years later almost, in 1970, we opened up to lay men.
In 1901, the sisters opened the St. Francis School of Nursing. That school is now a signature program at Viterbo.
And we graduate one of the largest groups of nurses in the whole state of Wisconsin.
And Christensen says when members of the Hmong community began settling in La Crosse, the sisters were approached about providing health care.
And that moved into what is now St. Clair Health Clinic.
The sisters are known for their devotion to the arts. That devotion resulted in the Fine Arts Center on the Viterbo University campus.
It was a time we didn't have a lot of students, but we had the will, and we knew that we wanted to share that gift.
Christensen says these projects you may not have known about were achieved in part because of something you do know about: the sisters' devotion to prayer every day around the clock. Now, as we mentioned, Christensen says the sisters had a lot of additional help. The projects would not have been possible without the support and assistance of the community. And she says the focus during these projects was never the sisters. Instead, their goal is always helping others.